If you ask any of the successful artists what is the best way to present yourself, to present your act and get good offers from varieties and circuses, they will probably tell you go to the international festival. Today I came to Leipzig to see the Newcomer Show in Krystallpalast Variete, and this is the international festival for the artists who never worked in German varieties before. This is just a great opportunity to present yourself and jump in the variety world of Germany, because so many different directors, agents and other artists come in here to see the show and to find you for their new productions. Even if you don't get any prize here, you will probably get some offers for the circus or variety. This was my start in 2015 here in Germany, when I got a main prize here, which is here the jury prize, including the contract with Krystallpalast. And this variety is simply one of my favorite here in Germany, because this is like a first love. So what do we have to know about the Newcomer Show and how to apply for it? Let's ask the artistic director of Krystallpalast Variete, Urs. Let's go. Gut. Also, dann
Willkommen zurück.
Ja, ich fühle mich hier wie zu Hause.
Schön.
Das ist so wie erste Liebe.
Erste Liebe verblasst auch irgendwann, verlässt man manchmal, aber man vergisst sie nicht.
Nee, das stimmt, es bleibt für immer. So, Urs, since when exists this show, Newcomer Show in Krystallpalast?
We started the first time in December, 17th of December 2000. So it's about 17 years ago already.
Okay.
And in the first years we did 2 shows, 2 times Newcomer Show per year.
Oh wow, really?
And then we changed to once, always beginning of July. And since about 12 years we do it always beginning of July.
And why you change it now? Why you do it only one time now?
The main reason was that we wanted to find the best artists, but if you do it twice per year, for example, the schools only graduate once per year. So we lacked of the quality of artists, basically, and to have the best quality for the Newcomer Show, we decided to do it directly after graduation from the schools.
So how many applications this year you got, and how many artists got the invitation for the Newcomer Show as of this year?
In 2017, we had a record number of 321 applications from all over the world, from all continents. We had applications from 41 countries, and we finally selected 12 acts.
12. Okay.
12 out of 321. So that's is a very hard selection process, which is always on the basis of videos. So people send their act videos, which are not edited, so we see the full acts.
From the beginning till the end.
That's it? Yeah.
But this is actually my next question, how you choose the acts from so many acts? Like what you
First thing is quality. Skill quality. The next criteria is unique idea or something seldom that we don't see often in the variety. So the idea of the act, or a special kind of presentation, a special style, a special prop, for example, could all be criteria for the Newcomer Show, for getting into the final selection. We have about 30%, more than a third, solo aerial acts. But we cannot make a whole evening out of aerial acts. So I would say the hardest selection process is within aerial disciplines, like rope, trapeze, hoop. The other thing is, or the other criteria is that we try to look from the perspective of the producers, agents and directors that will watch the show, so the professional audience, and we ask ourselves, what are they looking for their programs? And since we already have certain disciplines like, for example, many aerial acts on the market, we try to focus on the disciplines that are more sought after, that are more rare in the variety business, and that people are more likely to book. Because in the end, why do we do the Newcomer Show? We want to give a platform to the artists that come here from all over the world, that travel for many hours by plane, so that they get jobs. So another criteria is we try to figure out which acts are likely to get jobs when they come to Germany.
I think it's actually good, like in this festival, this is festival, yeah?
Yeah.
That in this festival there are no first, second, third place. So what prizes will get the artist?
It's at the same time a festival and a competition.
Yes.
And the competition aspect is that we have a jury of 9 circus or variety professionals, which are the heads, the directors of several leading varieties in Germany that play the whole year through. So from varieties like the Wintergarten, the GOP varieties, Apollo Variety, etc. They are in the jury. So they have a system which, with which they give points in different categories. Very classic in a way for competitions, festivals like this, for presentation, for the innovation, for skill level, and basically the act with the most points will get the main award, which is a contract at the Krystallpalast Variete. So a contract in a regular 4-month production. Then we have the Audience Choice Award, which will be voted for by the audience during the whole 4 days that we play the show. And additionally to that, we also award contract prizes, engagement awards, from the respective varieties, which means you can get a special award of the GOP varieties, or from the Varieté etc. in Bochum, or for some short-term variety like the Winterträume in Pforzheim. So there are in total 10 prizes, 10 awards that you can win. So the chances that you go home with a prize is pretty high. Because the selection process has been so hard, I think it's justified that there are several acts that get prizes.
But I already said before that even if you don't win anything, you probably will get some offers.
Of course,
later.
Of course. The main, and that's the main thing. The important idea of the Newcomer Show is to get seen and to get in touch directly with the circus producers and with the directors and agents and artistic directors. Because very often you have contact by email or by telephone, but it's not easy always to stay in touch. And it makes a big difference if you not only show your act live, because people want to see live if you can perform it. Sometimes it's easy to edit 30 seconds or a few minutes of your highlights. You try it out 10 times in rehearsal space, and the 11th time it succeeds. But that's not what we want to see. What we want to see is that you can perform it, you can communicate with the audience, you are a performer and not just a sportsman. So that's one thing why already being selected to the festival has helped many acts to get into the door for the professional market in Germany. The other thing is that for productions that involve more than acts, so for example, shows where you create group scenes or something that makes the whole show a production, it's important for many directors and producers to speak with you personally, because you just get more information. And it makes a big difference if the communication is only by electronic means, or if it happens in person. And that's why for me it's so important that we don't only do the show, but afterwards there is a meet and greet with everybody, so you can get in touch with all the producers directly and without an agency. So that's the other thing that usually, of course, sometimes we also invite agencies, which is fine. But the main idea is to have direct contact.
Actually, I missed also the question about the quality of the video. So not the quality of the act, but the quality of the video. If people apply, like the newcomers, sometimes they don't have a good video on the stage. Can they apply like filming somewhere like in the gym?
You can apply with any kind of video.
Okay.
In the gym, in your living room, we had everything. On the street, no stage lights, nothing. And our job for the selection is to imagine how it would be on stage. And for the Krystallpalast Variete in general, we get about 1,000 artist applications per video every year. So we are pretty well trained in making the abstraction and trying to imagine it, how it would be on stage.
So you will see, if it's good, you will see it.
Oh, for me, for the Newcomer Show, it doesn't have to be a well-edited video. What's more important is that it's the complete act. And everything else we see then in the festival. The more honest the video is shot, the better. And that's the difference to some other markets where it's more important to have 30-second trailer of well-edited 3 angles, HD, to impress. Here we want to see the full, raw, real version.
When people apply for the Newcomer Show, do they have to be in Germany, or you will help them with a visa if they get invited?
We have applications from all over the world. We have people attending from Japan, from United States, from Ukraine, from Russia. And if they need a visa, we help them to organize it, which means we write an invitation and we try to make it possible that they come. Eventually, they have to deal directly with their embassy, but we try to help them and support everybody that wants to come and that has been selected for the Newcomer Show.
So they have to actually start in advance, so they have this time to apply for the visa.
And but it also happened already that we already finalized their selection, and a visa was not given, so we say, okay, we try to postpone it to next year, for example, if it needs more time to process.
Maybe it's a little bit too early to speak about this now, because we still have this show, but what kind of acts would you like to see next year? Like, what are you missing?
The most important thing is that you do something that nobody else does, which is easily said and difficult to do.
That's true.
Of course. But if you see which acts eventually enter the market, which acts get the jobs, it's always those that are recognizable after having seen them again and again, and you see that they have something of their own that nobody else does. So that is even more important than high skill level or a excellent presentation. I would say to stand out between the hundreds of applications that we have is that you do something of your own. Of course, the skill is the base, but the unique trademark is important for the job afterwards, and so it's also important for us in the selection for the Newcomer Show. What would I like to see is rare disciplines.
Like what?
Like eye-carrying games, like freestanding ladder, like bankin, like Russian bar.
Is it possible to play Russian bar here?
Yes, we had it once. Funny enough, even one of our Newcomer Show winners was an act with Russian law. We have, coming from the circus schools, 5, 6 mainstream disciplines, like hand-to-hand, handstand, juggling, hula hoop, aerial hoop, tightrope. And there are already so many acts in these genres that we are going to look for other genres as well, other disciplines. So the more rare your genre, your discipline, the more likely it is also to get selected. Because what already exists, we don't necessarily need again and again. It's very hard, I know, but at the same time we have a lot of audience that comes 2 or 3 times per year and that wants to get surprised.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I try to look also with the audience's eyes, and I talk a lot with the audience, with people attending the shows, and we want to surprise them. So we don't want to show always the same thing, which means that this idea of doing something special, which stands out, becomes more and more important. Also for me, personally, but also for the shows.
But also from these standard disciplines, if you do something really new, something special, you have good chances.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. If you explore a prop in a new way, fine. If you change, or if you have a presentation which is extremely yours or unique, great. So it's also, it's not just the question of the classic, not what you do, but how do you exactly approach it? How do you explore the prop?